episode 3, where we talk about Avatar, The Last Airbender, not the blue people.
Yep.
From episode 1 to episode... Andrea?
61.
61.
61.
That is a lot of episodes.
I thought
That's
there
not
would have
that
been more, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought there was less.
Well, actually, it makes sense. Never mind. I take it back. 3 seasons?
3 seasons. 3 books. Volumes.
Okay.
I actually was going to go to a bookstore today to see if I could get my hands on the comics.
I want to get those too. I don't know why it's taking me so long.
But the store didn't open until 12.
Oh.
So I was ready to go at like 9.
Right?
And I get to the store and there's no cars there. And I'm like, fuck, I just drove 30 minutes to get here. Good tunes on the way though, so definitely okay.
Yeah. All right.
And we're revamping the podcast already, episode
What?
3. As you noticed in the last 2 episodes, total garbage. We didn't know what we were doing. No direction, but now we have a direction.
I gotta say, I
know
still
about
think we
that.
don't know what we're doing.
I don't, yeah. Well,
I agree.
Did the gang know what they were doing by episode 3?
No, they did
Kind
not.
of.
No, they
They
didn't.
didn't.
They were
There we
just
go.
They
visiting
knew where they
Aang's-
were going.
They're just visiting
But they
Aang's
didn't.
places.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't have a
Sure.
mission yet.
Official Avatar Expert has spoken. And I'm Daniel, by the way.
Jasmine.
Andrea.
So we're going to talk about episode 3, which is called
The Southern Air
Southern
Temple.
Southern Air Temple.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 temples, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this one's the southern one.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
This is where Aang was born, right?
Maybe.
Avatar Expert?
Yes, he is from the
Yes.
Southern Air Temple.
And this one's like all dudes, right?
From what I've seen
Because it was like,
in the flashbacks.
I believe...
No,
From what
no, there was a woman on the council when they were talking about him leaving during the episode The Storm.
There was a woman.
But was that like an Airbender council? Or was it like
What else would it have been?
Well, was it like every like
No.
temple has a person and then they just came
Oh.
together?
No, I think it's like the Southern Air Temple's like council.
Okay. Because I read on the internet or somewhere, probably like a meme or something, that like 2 of them were like dudes and then the other 2 were female.
Yeah, but where do people get that info from? You know, I'm just like, where does that come from?
That's a good point. Where does it come from?
Is it coming from? I couldn't say. I mean, it could be coming from anywhere. I don't have the comics. I don't know if it's like in there somewhere. I don't think it would be, but
Is
where else
someone's
it coming
phone
from?
vibrating?
Don't,
Oh, it's right next
Yeah.
to it. Okay, that's
because
what.
it was just shaking your laptop. Otherwise, it would have been fine. Moving on.
Oh, okay,
So-
wait, I just have a
Go
quick
ahead.
thing to say, sorry. It says on Reddit, by the Aang fan club leader, fun lore fact number 1, the air temples were segregated by genders, with men in the north and southern temples and women in the western and eastern temples, as seen in the architecture.
Haha. I want to talk about that architecture too in a minute. But before we get there, Jasmine, tell us what the story was.
Okay, really quick, 1 sentence. Aang, Katara, and Sokka. They're not a gang yet because Toph's not there. Sure. Okay. Go to the Southern Air Temple to why? Because Aang has to go back home. I guess I don't remember.
He's gotta clean his
And then-
room.
That's right. It's been 100 years. Then he gets there and he finds out everyone's dead, and that's it.
You left out,
Nothing,
like,
nothing
some cool
special or crazy happens, like the Avatar state.
Oh yeah, that happens, which I want to talk about because when it does happen. Oh wait, this is the one where everyone's like, "Oh my God, the Avatar's alive," right?
Yes.
Correct, yes.
Even though in the second one he went into the Avatar state.
Okay,
and no
that's
one said
exactly what I
anything.
wanted to talk about too.
I think it was because he was near the spiritual place.
No, that's not
It
why.
literally
that's,
makes
that's
no
some
sense.
BS.
Like if
It was
it's gonna
just for the
glow
sake of the story,
I
I
have a note
swear.
on that too. It was I was like, okay, because I was like, it's because of the spiritual place. But I also wrote down, does this happen every time he goes into the Avatar
Yeah,
state?
that's actually what I wonder too.
Yeah.
Or
Because
was
it's
it?
not like the first time he's gone back into the Avatar state. And also, I
Right.
feel like he was in the Avatar... He was glowing when Katara and Sokka found him. So does that mean he was in the Avatar state the entire time? And even if he was, does that mean that the eyes were glowing in the temples the entire time?
I feel like
Did
he
that make
got
sense?
frozen in that state, so like he wasn't technically in it the whole time. He was just literally frozen.
Maybe it was like a certain emotion that triggered it. Because before it was like, I'm scared and I need to survive. The last 2 times we've seen him do it. And this time it was sad and anger.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just feel like... emotion wouldn't be that much of a player in it.
Yeah, no.
Because it's like,
I'm
you're in the
saying 'cause
Avatar
he
state,
was-
you're in the Avatar state. Nothing really you
Yeah.
can do about
Yeah,
it.
son.
I think it's just because he was near all the statues.
I think it's just for the sake of the plot.
Well, I don't. So
For the
this
sake
all,
of the story. I don't know.
So I'm gonna get into more of this a little bit later, because I want to like kind of divide it up a little bit, where we talk about stuff that's going on now, and then later on. So there's not too many spoilers. I guess I don't know.
Spoilers?
I don't know.
When everyone's seen it anyway?
I guess I'm assuming people might be watching it along with us. Or something.
Nah.
All right, well, whatever then. Fuck my idea. Here's what I have to say about this. So there's multiple things I noticed about in the Air Temple. One thing, so I'm thinking it was the spiritual thing. That's what triggered everything. But also, if you look at the statues, and they're all like in this loop-de-loop, and the loop only has space for 2 more statues.
Does it?
Yes.
Well, okay,
Interesting.
so I
And
agree
Korra
with
is
that.
technically the last
Right.
of these people. So I'm just
So-
saying.
I mean, she's
But it
not,
makes
like,
sense.
The last.
But also, I saw this thing, I believe it was on Twitter or Instagram that I saw it. Like, people were talking about it too. They were like, oh, like, there's only 2 spots left, like, for Aang and Korra. But there's, like, they were talking about either Airbenders could create, like a cyclone or a twister or something, and they can move the statues that way, or they can get Earthbenders to move the statues, like, back a space.
That
To
sounds-
create more room in the spiral.
That is a good point.
Yeah, that is a good point. Didn't think about that.
I mean, you don't think they had a record of every single avatar, right? Like I'm sure the first few avatars were people were just like,
Well, in Korra, Jinora sees that little weird wooden statue, I think, and it's Avatar Juan.
Juan.
Yeah,
Juan.
I don't remember his name.
Well, whenever I heard it, I thought of like the Mexican name Juan. So that's how I remember it, but it's not Juan, it's Juan.
Juan.
Okay, anyway.
So I think they do have like all the avatars there.
You think they have every single one?
Yeah, definitely. How long has the Avatar been around?
I feel like I've heard the word 10,000 years thrown around. I don't really know if that's accurate.
Avatar Expert?
Whoa. We're talking Korra stuff now. This is outside my realm. But
That's
I agree
true.
with Jasmine
Can't ask
that I
her.
think it has been
Okay.
10,000 years.
It's an accurate number, though. Exactly.
Around, okay? Come on. But also, that's like way too many years. There's no way.
20.
Anyway.
Just kidding. It's 20,000 years.
What? That's way more.
Okay, so here's what this says. This is on the Avatar fandom wiki. It says The world has an extensive history dating back more than 20,000 years. The history of this world can be roughly divided into two parts: the time before the Avatar and the time of the Avatar. So prior to the Avatar's creation, there were lion turtles. Yes, we know that. Okay, so they said the era of Rava encompasses the time period prior to the beginning of the Avatar cycle, around 9,829 BG, when Wan became the first Avatar.
What does BG stand for?
I'm not totally sure.
Before.
This is... before genocide. It means before genocide and after genocide.
What the frick?
Last Airbender genocide.
Yes.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Which, I have points to talk about that.
Okay.
The genocide of the Air Nomad is based on China's occupation of Tibet, and the ensuing 100-year war reflects the atrocities Japan committed during World War II. Post-Fire Nation colonies are very similar to the ones established by Imperial Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Do we all think they're dead, or do you think some of them escaped?
I read a thing that some of them escaped, and
Yes.
they still killed them anyway.
Oh,
Some stories.
yeah, that took a dark turn. The theory that I know is like the Ty Lee theory, where they escaped and they hid in plain sight like Hama. But because they couldn't practice their spirituality, they lost their airbending, but they still have some qualities to them.
Exactly. That's where I was going to.
So I'm sorry to steal your thunder.
I know, you're good.
If you have
You said it way
else.
better than I would have.
Oh.
But yeah, because Ty Lee has very airbender features. And she's also very spiritual.
She's very spiritual.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Her aura is always like pink.
Oh.
And she talks about other people's auras. She's very in touch with herself. She's got those classic airbender gray eyes. Very light on her feet. Her fighting style is very non-violent. She only, goes for the chi blockers. Doesn't really, damage her opponent.
She knows about chi,
temporarily.
too. Yeah, so she's pretty strong like that. And knowledgeable.
Great gal.
And there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of what?
Well, she said she had sisters that all look like her.
Oh. Well, it's a fun thing to think about.
Yeah. Because we know that...
I mean, they couldn't have killed every single one of them, right?
How did Momo survive?
He
Why
had
is he
his
still there?
nuts and fruits. He had his nuts.
Yeah. What do you mean? Aren't there a bunch of little Momos?
Eventually,
Somewhere?
I believe they find an island with
something like that.
flying bison and lemurs, I think.
Hmm.
But I'm just wondering, Momo, how do they age? Why was he the last one to be around or something?
Well, there's more flying lemurs somewhere.
He could have been the one
must have still
only
been
curious
breeding.
enough to see what they were up to.
Maybe they flew over that island, and then Momo saw Appa, and he followed them.
Maybe.
Could be.
Because I believe all the bison, when they're introduced to their BFF for life, it's at the Western Temple.
You're saying that's the only place that happens?
I believe that's where they're taken. The kids are taken, and then they meet. So I think, if anything, the island would be around whatever temple that was. So not this one.
Okay. Even though we have the flashback to when Aang met Appa.
Yes.
Which
That
was at
wasn't
the
there.
Eastern. Wasn't there?
No.
It wasn't?
It was
Okay.
at a different temple.
I don't remember.
I believe so.
You believe so. You
I'm
don't know.
I'm 98% sure.
Okay.
Hold on, I have some notes here. So how do you think Monkey Atsu killed everyone?
I think he just sucked the air out of the room.
That's what I was thinking too.
That's a fricked up way to kill people. I don't know. And I guess any way to kill people is really messed up. But good God, you guys, what?
I mean, it's the only he was surrounded
You don't
by
think he just
a multitude of bodies. There's no way that I'm sure he's a powerful bender and everything, but I mean, like,
I don't
I
think,
feel like there's only so much that you can do with air to kill people.
Okay, fire needs air. It's one.
Could
It's
have
one of
blown
the
it
three.
back in their faces. You know, I'm just. You never know. I don't know.
Here's what I'm thinking is, if science works,
Which it mostly
the
does.
airbenders just had to take out the oxygen out of the air, and then there's no fire. Therefore, it was up to the non-benders to kill the monks. Sorry, I'm talking slow. It's the delay in my voice.
Mm-hmm. I
It's
can
hard.
hear it. It's okay. I don't know. I don't like to think about how he killed people. I don't think that, you know.
Why was he the only one left there? They didn't see any other skeletons on the way up.
I feel like they didn't do enough looking around the
Yeah, they didn't
temple
really-
either.
Do a lot of digging, you know?
I would have done all the digging.
You would have done all the digging?
Yeah.
Okay, but like, they didn't want to do all the digging. They
Yeah,
didn't want
they're
Aang to see it first of all. And then Aang probably wouldn't want to see any more
Well,
than what
here's
he
the
saw.
thing. It's been 100 years, and your friends are dead either way.
So what's your point?
You're not going back home to see your friends.
So do some more digging and find
Yeah.
all their remains. What? What
Are you
what
talking
saying?
about digging as in like
I
literally
meant
digging
no,
or just
digging like
research?
yes.
Like, okay.
Metaphorical digging, metaphorical.
Okay. I just want to make sure because
Okay.
it sounded to me like you were digging.
No.
He didn't clean his room either, so.
Well,
I think
Doesn't
he
really
had bigger
matter, does it?
problems to worry about.
yeah.
A little bit. I didn't like the 3D animation of the door.
Why?
It's just out of place.
I
It
mean,
pops
yeah,
out too
but it's
much.
like not really an issue to me. So there you go.
It definitely gets better.
How do the statues even get inside the air temple? That may be a dumb question, but is someone just like carving these for fun? Are they just appearing there? Like, is there a spirit that's in charge of it?
Just appearing there. Just
I think there was like a monk in charge,
yeah.
and he's like, "Your job every time
art homies.
there's a new avatar, you're in charge of this. You're gonna make a new statue, and put it in there."
Okay, well, it wasn't one person because people die. Just saying.
Well, yeah.
But then it's like, how? Where was I going with this? I had
How
a thought.
heavy do you think they are?
I had a thought. Okay, but then, okay, I remember now. But why is it just like the Airbenders? Or like, why is
That
it just
have
on
all
Air
the
Temple
statues,
Island?
you
Why
mean?
is it just Air Temple Island that has all these statues? Like, why is this burden and responsibility on them?
Well, I think
I don't know if it's a burden more than it
I think
is,
each
like
temple has its own thing.
they're just doing their own thing this way.
Because when they go to the other temple that has people on it, that one was supposed to have stuff in there too, but the dude has been making like inventions in there or something. I don't know what was supposed to be in there, but he probably took that stuff out. So maybe it's like they each have a room, maybe not glowing statues, but something else that glows. Because everyone had something that glue.
Because they all had
Glue.
statues.
Glue.
Glue,
Is
that's
that
not a
is that a word?
That's not a word,
Hold
but it
on,
is
what's
that.
glow?
Glowed.
What? Glowed?
Gloated. No, that's past.
That glown.
That lit up.
Okay. None of us speak English.
This is why I was a STEM major. I didn't want to have to deal with semantics.
I'm also curious as to, back to the genocide here real quick. How long after Aang left did this happen?
Pretty immediately, right?
Yeah,
Like, they were planning it. He left,
Right.
and then like they did the deed, which is why it's so tragic, right? Like if he had stayed behind just that much longer,
He'd be dead too.
he'd either be dead too, or he could. Yeah.
But
it
here's the
also
thing.
okay, but here's what like
Go ahead.
kind of confusing, but like I feel like there's such a huge gap from the time when Sozin let Roku die and then the genocide.
Right.
Like, did it really take you 12 years to kill all the
I think they were
Airmats?
trying to figure out how to get up the mountains during that time. Because I don't think they had those like
I think
tanks that go up.
12 years makes sense.
Well, I mean, Roku was living
Especially
in a
because
very...
they didn't have all the technology, and they had to kill all the Airbenders, all of them.
I guess
So I'm sure they had to like snuff some out, you know. Like I'm sure they didn't all die when they went to the one air temple, and then
There's probably some like traders in there too.
Yeah.
On how to get up the mountain. Why didn't they just pick up the mountain and move it somewhere else?
stop.
when worlds collide.
What was it
Stop. Genocide, you know.
Genocide. I lost my train of thought. It was gonna be
It's okay.
great.
Well, you just read your notes, son.
Well, that's what I had. And it triggered another thought.
Well, I guess it's gone forever. Next.
Next.
Don't worry, it'll come back after 100 years.
Yeah.
Did you read the next note?
I did. Did this one have pies in it?
Yes. The one where they
That's
airbend
so
the pies.
wasteful.
They don't really have to worry about that. They're not living in post-industrial worlds, are they? They're fine. It's a couple pies.
But they look good.
Cakes, pies, whatever the hell they were.
What were they? And why did they do that to people? Just
They
having
were
fun?
they were just little pranksters, that's all. Because those monks were too serious, you know, and they had to like just
Wait, were those the pies that they land on were those the same? Were those council monks or just random monks?
Council monks.
Council,
I remember one of the grumpy old men being on the council type thing and then also getting pied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aang leaves because they tell him that they're sending him away.
Well, he hears it and then he's
Yeah,
like,
right, yeah.
I'm gonna sneak away.
But Monkey Hat's like, they should have waited till you're 16. But I feel like 12 and 16.
Don't say they're the same. Don't say they're
Listen.
the same.
Don't say they're
I
the
was
same.
12.
No, they are not
And then
the
I
same.
was 16.
Daniel, no.
I was
I was
like
12 in 8th grade and 16 senior year of high school. Those are
That's
like 10 different people right there.
Yeah.
Daniel, you may not have been that different, but trust me, everyone else was. I don't know what went wrong with you.
Listen.
Man,
I
am
was
I
a-
right? They just don't develop fast enough.
Or
Hey,
we
he's
did-
not
I just
25 yet. His
so
frontal
fast.
cortex hasn't fully developed.
I don't feel comfortable with people knowing my age.
I just said you're not 25 yet. That doesn't really
I'm
tell anyone
37
your
years
age.
old.
Shut up. You don't sound like a 37-year-old. Are you kidding me?
You don't act
This
like a
is how I'm gonna sound
37-year-old
forever.
either.
I hit puberty already, dude, and my voice is not gonna change.
It's called second puberty.
That's menopause.
That's not what that is.
I don't go through it.
What? There's a dude version, I'm pretty sure. Maybe.
I don't think so.
Well, shoot, I'll research that and let you know.
You gotta get right on it. Oh my goodness, this took a turn. How did we even get here?
Wait, I don't know.
I'm like
did
trying
we
to
get here?
retrace the steps in my head, but it's just not working.
It's not, nope, I don't remember anything before menopause.
I blacked out.
I
couldn't
blacked
tell
out
you.
there first. I was reading my notes. I just heard something about menopause behind me. Okay, so do you guys want to talk about the other storyline going on here?
What's the other one?
Zuko and Koiro meeting
Yeah.
General Khan.
Wow, that's rude.
I mean, he's an ass. He does some terrible things.
Yeah.
He's still
Very-
he's only just commander in this episode, right?
Remember what happened to him in Korra?
I love that. I
That
love
was
they
pretty
bring it
cool.
back.
I was like, wow.
I was
Wait,
like,
does
is that-
Andrea know yet? Andrea, have you seen that part?
Yes,
Have you
and when
finished
he's
it?
like when he's lost in the pit of whatever the spirit soul
Yeah.
things. Yes.
Yeah.
The fog of the lost or something. Something like that.
Something about lost hoes, you know?
Souls. Something.
Not souls, hoes. I think.
All I know is
I
that
wanna know who's all in
Tenzin
there.
got his daughter out of there, and it was beautiful. He is the son of Aang, you know? Good stuff.
I want to talk about Tenzin when we get to it. I talked to you about this last time. Just Tenzin's airbending, because we never really see Tenzin, not Tenzin, just like airbender fighting. But in Korra, we see some I think that's the best part about Korra is one of the best things is the fight choreography. It's very
Indeed.
hyped. Anyway, so let's talk about the Zuko storyline in this real quick.
Yes.
So they roll up at a Fire Nation dock port. And we see that Zuko has a tiny ship. Very little ship.
I'm surprised his dad even gave him a ship. Like,
Right?
I don't think he did. That's probably Uncle Iroh's ship.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he had to give him something.
he had no honor. What did he deserve?
He had to regain it, so he needed the tools, you know? At least one tool. So he got a small ass ship.
Fully, like, furnished with a crew and decoration.
That's the bare minimum, okay? That Fire Nation homies are used to.
So, like, Zhao calls him, like, traitor or whatever. And he's not part of the Fire Nation because he's been banished.
He's a disgrace.
How does he have a crew then?
Zuko?
Yeah. Because Zhao tells him to go search, to, like, interrogate the men to tell him information. And if they're not Fire Nation crew, then they don't have to tell him shit, you know?
You're saying they're not part of the Fire Nation still?
No, I'm saying they are part of the Fire Nation, but if they are,
Why are they with him?
Well, yeah, why are they with him? If Zuko's not part of the Fire Nation.
Well, it's not that he's not, I guess. It's just...
I feel like that was just a
He has
dig
a
at
mission.
Zuko that Zhao did.
What was that?
Yeah.
I feel like it was just like a dig at Zuko that Zhao said.
True.
Like, I feel like he's
Yeah.
still part of the Fire Nation because, I mean, like when he comes back, Lo and Lee are like, oh, your crown prince has returned. So, like, I feel like the Fire Nation still recognizes him as their prince.
Yeah.
Right. Agreed.
Agreed. Who's older? Zuko's older.
Zuko's 16, Azula's 14.
Uh,
I know. I don't like to think about that much, though. Azula's too creepy to be 14 only.
I agree.
She's fucked
That's. I always thought she was older.
yeah, me too.
17 plus. But nope.
Just a terrifying 14-year-old.
Yeah.
What if I were like that when I was 14? Could you imagine? That'd be fantastic.
I know. I just try to think about it sometimes. I'm like, wow, if only that was me.
I wish.
What do you mean you
I
wish?
have so much confidence. I had
Right.
no confidence at 14.
But you'd also be severely mentally unstable. So
Fuck.
And like have
You
a
would-
full-on breakdown by the time you're 14. Like, jeez.
she's barely 15 and then already freaking out.
Lost her marbles.
Well, I mean, that was technically me at 14 anyway. I don't know what I'm talking
I think it took me to like 16 to lose my marbles.
I'm slowly losing them right now.
Everyone that ever chooses to listen to this is slowly losing their marbles.
This is not necessarily like a journey with the Avatar. It's just a journey of us losing our mentality.
I think it's
We're
a
just
journey of
dipping.
finding out if we can ever get our marbles together. That's what I think this is.
Agreed. I agree.
Someday, I like to believe. Gives
Yeah.
me hope.
I guess.
Probably. I don't know.
Sure.
So Zuko.
Yeah. Okay, so, we know I guess we all might not know. We all might not know, but Zhao and Zuko have a nice little Agni Kai in this episode.
They do. I also just figured out why I couldn't hear Andrea.
Why?
My headphones have a volume thing on it, and that was turned down.
And you had a revelation. You're okay. Andrea, anyway, you can continue. Daniel's stupid.
I'm just gonna ignore him and continue,
Please do.
because clearly he's been ignoring me this entire time.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh no, you said they had a little Agni Kai.
So,
What's
anyways,
an Agni Kai?
an Agni Kai is a firebending duel that's as best and simple as I can describe it, I guess. But
To
so
the
in this,
death.
because Zhao believes that Zuko disrespected him, so they're gonna do a little Agni Kai. And actually, so it's in Avatar Kyoshi's kind of like prequel book, but she talks about Agni Kais and how they represent honor in the Fire Nation. And she talks about how, like, when you lose an Agni Kai, you, like, lose some of your hair, like shave some of your hair, like to keep you humble, and but like no matter what, you don't touch like that top knot apex part of your head. So I think it's really cool. Like, you'll wonder, like, why does Zuko have that ponytail, you know? It's because he lost that Agni Kai to his father, lost all his honor, which means that he loses all his hair in the process, but doesn't touch that top knot apex part of his hair. So that's a cool fun fact I learned.
I thought they just had stupid haircuts in the Fire Nation, but that's interesting.
Because, I mean, Uncle Iroh has a lot of hair.
Let's say Ozai's freaking just a
hunk.
I don't even know how to describe Ozai's hair, but he's got some inches. He's got some inches on him.
Ooh, he sure does.
Fire Nation does have a lot of hair. They're the hairiest, I think.
I don't know. They're based off the Japanese, and the Japanese are pretty stereotyped for not having a lot of hair.
I don't know. I don't know any Japanese dude. That's a lie. I do know one.
Then with that, you got to think about Azula cutting off her own hair during her breakdown.
Zuko's mom had
that's gotta be rough.
She's probably bald now.
Why would you say that?
Well, she got thrown out of the Fire Nation.
Okay, but that doesn't mean she'd cut her hair.
I would. We'll get there someday. I don't even know anything about that. Yeah, and then they fight. They're like, round one. And they're like...
And then Zuko kind of kicks his butt.
Well, first Zuko kind of loses. And then...
Okay, but eventually... Okay, the point is, Zuko kind of kicks his butt, right? But then Zhao's like, you pathetic piece of trash. And then he tries to get him when his back's turned. And then Uncle Iroh's like...
I have that note here that's like, Uncle Iroh is really strong.
Yeah.
He just snuffed out like a big, powerful fire kick.
With his hand.
He just went, nope.
Grab.
Not today.
And Iroh's not even like in his full, you know, he's not even at his peak, right? Because like he's kind of like chubby uncle, and then he gets buff at some point.
Well, yeah, but I feel martial arts aren't necessarily like you have to be in shape to be good at. Like,
so you're saying he's always at his peak? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
Yes, like it's like a cheat thing where...
Then why did he bulk up in prison?
Just to be in shape and be like extra strong. But
extra strong! Okay, yeah, don't tell me.
No, but I was getting at, like, you look at Bruce Lee. He's strong, but he's tiny.
Okay, yeah, but he's still in shape.
Yeah, he's in shape, but Uncle Iroh was just like fat. He's probably got the muscles still under the fat. Like, you ever...
I'm just saying Uncle Iroh didn't do a lot of moving around before that point.
He's out of shape, but he's still strong.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying he's probably not at his peak.
Because he's old.
Because he's old.
Yeah, I mean...
And chubby.
He likes duck soup,
Iroh.
right?
What?
Duck soup? Is that what he was eating in the last episode?
What did you just say? Duck soup? He likes tea.
He likes roast duck.
Roast duck.
Oh, okay, that's what you're... Okay.
And he was like... And then Zuko's like... Ah! I like the... Who do you think has the best architecture? Fire Nation? Air Nomads.
I feel like the Earth Kingdom's got some great architecture. It may not be visually appealing, but it's probably strong as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not visual. There's no visual appeal, so
I think I'm gonna
Are you kidding me? Those bossing say rings are sexy as hell.
Yeah. But you know what's sexier?
Upside down temples.
Yeah. That shit was hot.
that are built on the side of a cliff. Oof.
Yeah, those are...
Bro,
that'll ruffle the jimmies there.
Those are based on the Hinging temples in China.
Do you know what you're saying?
Yeah, they're those temples. But they're not upside down in real life. Mm-hmm. They're just on the side of a cliff.
Would have been much cooler if they were upside down, but that's just my opinion.
Would. That's just crazy talk there.
I'm no architecture major, but...
Those people couldn't airbend.
Even so, how are they able to be upside down?
What?
the Airbenders. Like, they couldn't get. You can't get too much done upside down. Your blood goes to your head.
They're more professional than you think. Okay.
I feel
I
like
don't
they
know how they
weren't
did it.
actually upside down in the buildings. Because okay, hear me out. Like,
no, I think we can all agree that they weren't actually living upside down.
Well, then why did they build up? That's just stupid. Do you think
I
someone...
feel like-
It's
okay,
hot.
imagine
It's
if you're an
sexy,
enemy
it's
and
so
you roll
cool.
up to these people's crib and it's just upside down. Like, wouldn't that kind of scare you off a little bit?
I think someone just
They
fucked up
couldn't
the
even roll up
architecture.
to it. Like, no one even knew it was there for real unless you came in from a certain angle.
I want to say someone messed up the measurements and they built the whole thing. They stepped back and they were like, oh shit, that's upside down.
That's stupid. No wonder it was so hard.
It was upside down, you idiot. You were supposed to read them this way. Any more notes on this episode?
No, that was great.
I don't think so.
I think I got everything. Want to touch
Southern
on?
Air Temple looks like a Disney castle. That's all I want to say.
Oh, what?
Reminds me of like a Disney movie castle
it
for
does,
some reason.
yeah. Like Rapunzel?
What?
No. A little tower?
Nope, never mind. I take it back. Anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye. God, that's
Wow,
my key.
Jesus Christ. Get the fuck out of here, people. Just got stuff to do. Go watch the next episode, because we're talking about that next. The Words of Kyoshi. I have no notes on this, so see how that goes. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Shit.